I am Angel Amoroso, and welcome to Angel Amoroso Versus. Finally, I'm back. If you guys were tuning in to my programs previous to this, I was on a roll for a few months doing my Angel Amoroso Versus gang stalking series, and I got cut off by YouTube. They suspended my account for the last two videos that I live streamed, and the topic was on Tower Titanium. So it was Angel Amoroso versus Tower Titanium, and obviously the content within the videos I was showing was not only copyrighted but against the law. So they took it down, and now I'm back on after 3 months of a suspension. So I have created a new series, and this one kind of continues on, picking up where we left off with our last topic, and this one entitled "Fuck You, Mick Foley." This here, since I was suspended from YouTube, I started the series originally on Facebook Live. So episodes I believe 1 through 4 were recorded on Facebook Live. So what we're going to do is go over now to my Facebook, and I'm just going to play it out for you here on Angel Amoroso Versus. So just give me a second, and let's just enlarge the screen so we could get right to it. Doing this show called Fuck You, Mick Foley. Simply, plain and simple.
It's that time of year.
It is that time of year. Okay, I want to play this from the beginning. I don't know why my computer is the way it is, but it gives me a problem sometimes. Even when I was filming this, we had some difficulties, and this first one is only about 8 minutes, and then the second one is around an hour or so. So you could see live what kind of problems I have with my computer and my connection. Hopefully today, Black Friday, will be one of those days where I can replace this computer, get myself another one, and start to pump out some quality programming instead of the crap problems that you're seeing here. We'll just start from here. So on we go with episode 1 of Fuck You, Mick Foley. Good evening, Facebook Live. I am Angel Amoroso, and here with me is Christina Jade Polis. I'll just introduce her instead of her introducing herself. And this evening, we're doing this show called Fuck You, Mick Foley. Simply, plain and simple.
It's that time of year.
It is that time of year. Yokozuna has joined us. Welcome, Yokozuna.
Hi.
Iceberg Slim has joined us. Welcome, Iceberg Slim. Robert Tillelli, my bestie, has joined us. Welcome, Rob.
Hello.
We are going to try to keep up on the comment section as much as possible, but the reasoning for this is to actually review the comment section of videos that got
banned by Facebook last year and taken down, and then had to be reposted, and they got taken down several times, but we saved some of the comments from them. Barbara Foreman has joined us. Welcome, Barbara. Stephen DeAngelis has joined us. Welcome, Stephen. Lynn Brown has joined us. Welcome, Lynn. Louisa has joined us. Welcome, Alice. I'm ready not to say her last name. Welcome, everyone, and thanks for joining us. As I said, we're going to be going through these comments that Facebook, as much as they talk about how they want to protect you and they have censorship for all the right reasons, it actually is not so much for all the right reasons. And they have a lot of trolls that they allow to harass you and try to ruin your life based upon truths that you're trying to tell the world that they just don't like and don't want to hear. Let's see, Rick Gillespie has joined us. Welcome, Rick. Hello. Thanks for joining us. So we're going to start this by we're not going to play the video, because God forbid we play the video, it might get taken down again, and this whole stream may get taken down again. Right, it's probably going to get taken down anyway. So we're going to start, and we hope that you can see the whole screen, and if you can't, let us know. We're going to read. I'm not going to play the whole video. Like I said, this first one was 8 minutes long. And it was up for about, maybe a week or so. And it had, several thousand comments on it. Very nasty, harassing, terrible comments. People making things up and with their assumptions, and horrible stories and whatnot. And, I'm not sharing the screen right now, but I want to figure out how to share this screen so that everyone can see the video that I'm talking about. I'm not going to come back to it. You know what? Let's see how we could share this screen. I'd love some help with this, but with this Facebook Live is kind of a little new in trying to split the screen and let people see what we're seeing. There's no way for me to monitor this, but how are we sharing this? That's just not good. That's not right there. That's not correct. So stop that. All right, you know what? We're just gonna come back when we figure out how to share this screen, because we want you all to see what we're seeing, so that you could get the same feeling that we get from all these lovely trolls that we're dealing with this year. But first off, before we get into coming back and figuring all that out, let me just explain that Facebook has this habit of reminding people of what their memories were from last year, and trying to force people, share your memory from last year and let everyone know what you were doing, right? So this week has been a buildup of, all the things this week from last year that led up to today's date and tomorrow's date, which is the 1-year anniversary of my protest against Mick Foley in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, me and my family. So as Facebook all this week has invited me to share with the public all the other posts that were made previous to today about everything else, today they decided that they don't want me to share any memories anymore. And it's difficult for me to go back on my timeline and share videos because they took a lot of them down and accused me of cyberbullying and harassing. So with all the comments that were left underneath of the videos, I'm kind of confused on whether or not they thought that I was being cyberbullied and harassed with the things that people were saying about me and my family, or if they thought that I was harassing and cyberbullying Mick Foley. So I'm looking at this comment section here, and I see so far that there's no comments, which I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. But we've gone 6 minutes so far, and with everyone that has joined us, please join us back. Give us 5 minutes, and we're going to figure out how to share the screen so that we can share with you exactly what we're seeing and what we're feeling for this evening. So please join us back as soon as possible.
Okay, so let me just go back and I'm going to read the comments under it so far because I don't want to stretch out you know, the shows into too long. Let's see. Okay. Well, this won't unfold 20 comments. So let me just get to the next one when we did figure out exactly how to share the screen. And then we started right off. So we're going to get right into that.
Our feature for this evening, titled "Fuck You, Mick Foley." So I hope everyone's having a nice day.
Not sure why that stopped. Sorry.
We see Madman Pondo, Kevin Kennedy has joined us, so thanks for joining. Pete Crawford has joined us. Thanks for joining, Pete. I hope everyone who was joining us previously will join us back. We think that we figured out how to share the screen to show you all what we were trying to explain a few minutes ago. So what we're doing here is reviewing my mess of last year that Facebook somehow wants us to share every other detail of our lives, but doesn't want us to share things like this that they would like to censor. So Patrick Walsh and James Mitchell has joined us. Welcome, James. If Robbie Soto has joined us, welcome, Robbie. Okay, so the video I'm going to get into explaining, like I did before. We went to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, to a book signing that Mick Foley was doing for one of his Santa Claus books because he's obsessed and thinks that he's Santa Claus. I, around that time, was having a very hard time with dealing with a lot of issues, post-traumatic stress and whatnot. And I took it out in a way that only I could do. And I wrote up a whole bunch of signs and brought them up to his book signing with my family and friends, and stood outside of his book signing, screaming and yelling about what he did to me, because Mick Foley and 20 plus other professional wrestlers throughout the 80s and 90s had sex with me when I was a child. Okay? A child. We're talking 13, 14, 15 years old, 16 years old. I'm not going to talk about 16 and 17 years old. I'm not even going to talk about that. I'm not even going to bring it up. I'm not going to be petty like that, because in some states, as I understand, many people are in strong defense of it's okay to have sex with a 16-year-old. So, you know, everyone who goes along with that, that's fine. I won't even bring that up. Originally, the protest that I'm not going to get into showing in full because I don't want this taken down. Originally, every video after about a week was taken down after thousands of comments were made, and it was very harassing. And I got suspended from Facebook within a few days of this happening because I was reported for cyberbullying and what else was it? Cyberbullying and whatever, harassment and all of that. So
Defamation.
Yeah, defamation.
That's included.
All sorts of things. So thousands of comments that were made, and I then went to my Angel Walsh account and tried to respond to those people from my Angel Walsh account in defense of myself. And then Facebook marked every comment that I made in defense of myself as spam. So, and then they deleted my Angel Walsh account. I have screenshots of it for no good apparent reason, just to shut me up on the subject. People will be talking about it. So a few of the videos we saved with just some of the comments, not all of them, just some of them. So, and you can compare them to the ones on my timeline that are coming up for this year and the ones from last year, which we're going to get into showing right now and reading through. Because now, if you look at them on my Facebook timeline, the videos that were reposted and at one point had like 700 comments at least, just a couple months ago, now for some reason it's filtered down to 4 comments. 4. So, and they put the most ridiculous things as what they consider the most relevant. As I said before, this protest took place because I had spoken out for several years about how I had been molested by professional wrestlers and people in the wrestling business, and I had been ignored. And I got to an exploding point, and this is what happened. This is me, and these are the kind of things I do. So we're going to get to this video right now. If you could just not play the video out, but just let's go through some of the odd and weird and just nonsense comments. I hope you guys could see that this is a shared screen here, and what we're actually sharing. I hope you could see that. So we'll go through some of these comments that, like I said, I couldn't respond to last year, and a lot of times during the year I was encouraged to ignore a lot of this material by psychiatrists and medical marshals and doctors and lawyers and other people who put me under such harassment and distress, Benlu. It's so nice to hear from you and be harassed by your mail. And we'll get into that later, although you say that I'm not allowed to take paperwork out and read it on the internet or anywhere else because it's against the law. What you're doing is actually against the law with Discovery. So I think I'll be doing the same in full with Discovery a little bit myself. But this is not full with Discovery at all. What this is doing is reading the public's opinion on child molestation in wrestling. This is what people think. This is something that has went on for a very long time. There's always been 12-year-old brats in the business, and anyone who's turning a blind eye to this, you really just need to find your soul, because it's been going on for a very long time. There's child molesters all throughout the sport of professional wrestling. I call it a sport very loosely. You all know what I'm talking about. A lot of you were there for the events that took place in my life, and you were there when I sat in bars with people and got drunk with people and left bars with people, and a lot of you were in rooms with me when I had sex with people. And I'm not blaming any of you for it, but you all know that I'm not lying about it. Why would I make up a story like this? Why would I make up a story like this? And if I was making up a story, wouldn't I come up with some better people to fabricate a story with? I mean, I'm not trying to insult anyone in any way. I try to deal with this in my own way, and I'm not trying to joke about it by any means, although I have more sense of humor and how I deal with it. But it is what it is. It certainly is what it is, and I deal with it how I deal with it. And here's an example. Here we go. Here's how I deal with it. I'm going to read some comments of what people think about my. Yeah, let's go. We're going to take turns reading the comments because, you know, I like a wilted flower. I dry out. So this first comment was, this first video was just of me standing outside of the bookstore for about 5 minutes. Leave my Facebook. I don't know if this was the second video. Yeah, okay, there it goes. And that was, what was that, 1.33 thousand that was compared to the 38 or whatever that got deleted first. So I think this may be the. So this is the second one. Still with, let's see, 14 shares and, you know, whatever. I don't know, a lot of comments have been deleted. Am I seeing this right? A lot. Yeah. When I look back on it, like I said, there was hundreds of comments a lot last year, and now I'm looking at it to review it. I'm glad I screenshotted it and screen recording. All right, okay, but do you have? I mean, you don't have them with okay. But okay, let's work on this right now. Right. Move down the screen here and let's see. So it starts with that. That's why I'm there. Okay. So this is the only comment there is left of people saying I stand with Angel Amoroso and okay, well, why hasn't she called out any of the other legends? And because everybody raised me of it. Like these comments just got worse. There's nothing showing here, so could you take that off? A lot of these comments became. Now this is during let me just say this. This didn't start out as any kind of, oh, Harvey Weinstein did this and that, and hashtag Me Too is hot, so let me tell my story kind of situation. It wasn't like this at all. I have been talking about this for a long time. You know, it's been an issue for me, so I talk about it. So it didn't just come up because of a hashtag Me Too situation or anything like that. So let me just make that clear that, like I said, this has been very public for a long time. It's been public since I was a child, so I don't know why everyone's trying to act like it's a big secret. But it became more public on social media and whatnot within the past decade. So this didn't just come up out of nowhere because everyone else decided to start complaining about people grabbing their ass and whatnot. It didn't start over that. My daughter went to Temple University, community college at Temple University, and highly educated on the subject of film, so that we can cover this subject in documentary form. And we are having trouble with getting the help that was willing to help us before with telling my story since this incident here happened. So you want to be cowards and back out. We just get it done ourselves, no problem at all. So So we're going to get into some of the rude, harassing comments that, once again, landed me in the mental institution.
1/20th of the nasty
Yeah, 1/20th of the nasty comments that was left in a hole about this situation. So let's ruin our Thursday evening by reviewing our mishaps of last year. Okay, so you want to read some of the comments for me, Dawn?
All right, so one guy, Brennan, Lenny? I can't see what's called.
Okay.
Anyway, he says, was he charged? Is there proof? Been around him for years and never seen anything improper. Said 14, then 15.
See, some things I'm not even going to respond to. I did an interview with Shelly Martinez about this, and every person who said these things, I cleared up by sending, the interview to them, and I also did other appearances on shows that I explained these things in detail. So I shouldn't have to repeat it, and the people who know that I'm reaching.
Okay, so my reply back, so I said 14 and 15 isn't considered improper. No one is saying that he did this to everyone, but he did do it to her. And he says, and I'm saying, been around him for years. Every single move he did, he's been around. He's never seen anything. If she's going to say it happened at 14, you don't change it to 15 2 minutes later.
No one did that.
Anyone can say it happened, but you need proof to be believed.
Proof. So, in other words, exactly is it that you're asking for when you're asking for proof of something that I am 43 years old, and whether it was 14 or 15, like, you know how long ago that was? Like, do you want semen off of the bed sheet? Do you want me to track down my friend and ask her if she still has, like, come on, seriously? If you want me to give you proof, I can, the humans that were alive with me at the time it happened, they're the living proof here. So, go on. Moving on to the
anyway, KJ Parker. I'm sure you don't understand that making such claims puts the burden of proof on you. That if it is found false, you could be charged with defamation of character and what?
Yes, and that's right.
If it truly happened, if it truly happened, you should have contacted authorities, not try and get yourself over on Facebook Live.
Okay, first off, getting yourself over, let me just explain to you, Marks who keep using that term. When you get yourself over, you're telling stories of, like, grandeur, of something that didn't happen, that it's supposed to be something that everyone admires and looks towards you as, like, oh, they're so jealous of you that it happened. Putting yourself over isn't telling your story about your childhood molestation and exposing yourself as a victim. That's not putting myself over, number one. Could we get to address the other idiotic comments that he made? Please, let's go one by one with this.
All right, so I think that was it.
No, it wasn't. So the first two comments were...
All right, so I think... All right, so a lot of comments were marked.
Okay, he knows. I know. He knows. I'm making the burden of proof is on me.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
We'll agree with that. Read the rest of it. No, I want you to read this one out loud. Read the next line out loud.
The next line. So that it's found false.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that if it is found false, you could be charged with defamation of character.
Exactly. Exactly. And liable. Exactly.
If it truly happened.
So, no, listen, stop there. Stop there. Because I just want everyone to absorb that comment right there. If what I was saying about Mick Foley and 20 plus other wrestlers was not true, it's been a year, man. And not only have they not responded to it, but I been sued for defamation or libel? And no. And do you know why? Because it's fucking true. And they know that it's true. And they know that they don't have a pot to piss in when it comes to this, because it's true. And you can't sue someone for, if anything, you say that I'm not telling the truth, and I fucking sue you for calling me a liar. So you know I'm telling the truth. So you know that word. Go on. Read on.
So I say what I say back, right? And then Anthony Mockdale says, "What? This really happened. How did I miss this? How did I not hear about it?"
I love when people say, how did I miss this? Like, they were around for every single event that ever took place in the history of professional wrestling. Like, how did I miss this? Like, they're the big experts, and they should know everything about everyone who's ever been around wrestling. If they missed it, more than likely it's a lie. It didn't happen. Just learn that about every mark on Facebook, that if they didn't see it, it didn't happen.
So the same guy says, "I'd like to know the other legends as well," as if you didn't put them in the video.
The other what?
The other legends that.
Okay, well, I mean, if he listened, if he actually watched the video that he's commenting on, I named the names in the video, and not only that, but I did a follow-up video that dates after when he commented. That also it named all the names and had me in a wedding dress holding up pictures of everyone. If you'd like to see it, it's still on Marmu YouTube. MARMUTUBE. Go to Marmu YouTube and view that video. Yeah.
So someone replies back to Anthony Moscow and he says, "Bro, she sounds like she's a nobody who ever made it and has a grudge from her failures. She wants attention. I stand with old Saint Mick. She could suck my dick."
Now,
Right.
hold on. Now this is in response, by the way. Keep this in mind. I am a person who is exposing my past, good, bad, or ugly, terrible past. I'm exposing my soul to people so that other people know what kind of people other people are. And in response to that, I get hashtag I stand with Saint Mick. Like in this era, and I have to bring up this Me Too thing because it's been a real irritating thing for me to deal with the fact that every woman in Hollywood, every woman on the street corner, and any woman anywhere, grown women, not children, can make men lose their jobs and ruin people's lives based on accusations, unproven accusations, and sometimes things that are so minor and trivial, it shouldn't even be considered sexual assault. And I'm not in any way trivializing the Me Too campaign and what they did or whatever, but I'm saying it's a word. Because everyone is not listened to equally. They want to tell you that, oh, this is something for everyone, but it really isn't. But because if a woman who, she gets her ass grabbed, and gets groped or whatever, and gets these huge executives dismissed from their jobs, or someone happens to masturbate in front of them and they have to put up with that, yes, it's definitely wrong. But they were grown women to be tolerating with that. And right now, we shouldn't be so focused on how grown women are dealing with things so much anymore. We've dealt with it with this Me Too movement, and I think it's worked out very well for grown women who have been assaulted, and men. I don't want to leave them out in any way because I think it worked out well for everyone. But there's been nothing specific to say this is a movement for people who have suffered childhood abuse and have been molested. And what about the grown adults and the executives in Hollywood and the sports entertainers, the athletes in football and boxing and professional wrestling who have outright molested children and still continue to do so, trafficking children all around the world, and nothing's done about it. And someone will come out and say, listen, this may not be a good story. However, this is my story. This is what I've been through. This is how I've lived as a child. People know me. A lot of people have been around me. I hung around fan clubs and groups and people. Without Feinstein, for Christ's sake, people know RF Video, Eric Arjulo, and Teresa Clark, and people are still actively on my Facebook that were around me in 1988, 1989, 1990, throughout my entire life, and they know my life, okay? And the people that were in very large groups in Philadelphia, if you knew about the wrestling scene in Philadelphia, you know that the very large groups of people were very close-knit. And the things that I'm saying here is not to get any kind of heat for myself or put myself over in any way. And I don't see how anyone would see me talking about this as any way of putting myself over. But since they want to continue with the rude comments, not only back then, but they continued throughout the year to harass me, and several people started gang stalking me during the year, and it became a whole big mess. They vandalized my house and whatnot, and I had a huge problem over speaking out just about something that was done to me. And it didn't originally start as I'm complaining about this specifically this year. It started as someone asking me a question about something simple, and I brought it up, and it escalated. So on with the rude comments, please. Let's show everyone the human beings we have out there with the nice mushy cards. So, that feel bad for people and the victims.
All right, so tell Corey Frid says tell her to go pay her bills and stop ignoring them collection calls. So I bring up like, oh, it's time to start making fun of child porn now. I'm gonna save that for another time, and he says, calm down there.
Okay, so, and that's in reference to when people say, Angel, pay your bills. That's in reference to child pornography and a joke about it. So if y'all want to keep making that joke, just know that you're laughing at something that makes you look like more of an asshole than it makes sense.
So another guy says, name the rest of the legends, like a lot of people inquired about, which was in the video to begin with, if they just paid attention. Guys, Anthony Faso, he's on the spread a lot. He says, look at my page, it's an all-star cast. And I say, whatever. So Brandon Wright says, why doesn't this woman mention the others that apparently abused her? No report filed.
It's almost like they just
have a comment, yeah, right?
Video because they just want to be heard with a video that's getting.
Here's my favorite one. Here's my favorite one. Christopher Wilganowski says, then why are you just now coming out with this if it really happened?
Why is it that everyone assumes to think that they know my life and they know every detail about it?
How about these people who were molested in churches and stuff who were afraid to come out of it? It's like the same kind of mentality, but
it is. But the thing is that they can't even watch the current video that's being played for them to see that any questions that they had about the issue had been answered during the video. So now they continue to ask the same questions to make it out like there's something that I'm hiding or something that they should be, that you all should be looking at weird. Like they can prove that I'm a liar because of this. Yeah, all right. Go on, please.
Pi Williams says you need to go to TMZ with this, and did you file a report with the cops?
By the way, TMZ came to me. And right?
Oh, and this guy, Mr.
But
Authority.
you didn't see me on TMZ trying to get myself over and get paid, right?
Robert, Pyro Bailey Day. Go to the police, he says, file a report, prove it, and show us you aren't just looking for attention.
Oh, of course.
Of
Because
course.
I gotta show them. Because it's all
Robert,
about
Pyro
proving
Bailey Day.
everything
Just
to
him.
everyone on Facebook.
We should
Because
just mail
that's what
him
it's about.
the evidence.
Yeah, why not? Just to satisfy him, because he'll be the
But then
deciding
again-
factor.
Then again, he says,
what
I
happens
stand with
in
the truth, whatever that is. So maybe he's,
Okay.
okay,
All
all
right.
right.
Whatever that is. So.
Ian Decay asks, what proof do you have?
His brain needs to go decay some more. Do I have?
And then Icon Art says that. You're missing the point. Everybody wants to come out now after the Weinstein drama. Why didn't they come out immediately after it happened?
See, and
Okay.
again, like I said, this is what pisses me off. I'm not going to interrupt for every comment, but just because you just started paying attention doesn't mean it just started to happen.
It's been going on. If
Just
you
keep it in mind.
Browse the internet a little bit. Anyway, he says back, she's a legendary ring rat. Let's, LOL, let's, oh wait, not let's, just show some proof. Just show it.
Hold on.
Just show it, though.
Hold on, though.
Show it.
Just show it. But this person.
This is not even anything to laugh about. Like, if I didn't laugh, I would cry.
No, I know.
Like,
I'm fucking done
like,
crying about it. Seriously. This person who just called me a legendary ring rat. Okay?
Right.
Now, think about those words for a second. I am a legendary ring rat.
How
And
did
I
to be that
am
way,
not
man?
denying that. I'm not denying it. I am outright fucking telling you that it's the God's honest fucking truth that I am a legendary ring rat. I am the fucking queen of ring rats. That's what I've been trying to say. But for some fucking reason, and in the same breath that you call me a legendary ring rat, you say that I'm the biggest liar in the world, and there's no way on God's green earth that anything I'm saying about this situation could be true.
He's not the only one.
Right. Like, okay.
Okay, so I see back, what kind of proof would you like her to produce?
And if I'm a ring rat, how did I become a ring rat? Did I fuck myself a whole bunch of times because I'm such a star and a legend that I became a famous legendary ring rat by having sex with myself? Did I? Is that the way it works now? Go on.
I said I'll ask her if she has 20-plus-year-old semen-covered sheets.
Yeah, because obviously,
all right, so anyway,
that's what they
he says that will work. Time, place, proof. Like, well, anyone can claim rape and blah, blah, blah. But you need proof before you walk around like a crazy lady with a sign and get the book signed.
I never denied being crazy, but I don't think that like a crazy lady, like, maybe you should deal with, like, your mother or sister or niece or whoever you're getting, molested when they're a child. And by the way, these people who are changing my fucking story, saying that I said that he forced himself on me and he was like a forceful, aggressive rape. I never fucking said that. So pull your fucking chest. I never fucking said that. But go on.
Someone called you Joseph Mack, attention hog. So you just did this, right? So how are you an attention? I mean, is he?
See, the thing is that people are like, why didn't you say anything about this before? Why didn't you go to the police? Why didn't you shout it all over social media? Because if I do, then I'm an attention hog and a liar. But if I don't, then, why didn't you go do it sooner?
Right.
Like, okay,
Anyway,
all right.
Eric Buddy Burke says that your 15 minutes of fame is over, girly.
15 minutes. When was this 15 minutes supposed to be? Was this the 15 15 minutes of live streaming that your loser ass sat down and watched? Or was this the 15 minutes that I had in professional wrestling? Or was this the 15 minutes that I had in modeling? Or 15 minutes in acting? Or 15 minutes in MMA? Or 15 minutes in something that you've seen me in that you're acting like you don't know who I am? Your 15 seconds of my attention is over. Moving on.
Icon Art's back. They say it's the new fad now. Sometimes I feel like bad that I even commented at all and gave them like the time of day, because when I look at it now, it's just anyway. Joe Cummins says I stand with Mick.
These are people responding to someone saying that they've been molested by a grown man. Now, when in any state, look it up, and I'm sure we'll get to those comments because these are going to be long shows. There's a lot of comments. There's Facebook, there's YouTube, there's 4chan, there's Reddit.
There's
so many comments that I'd love to share with all of you. And I'm also doing this on my Angel Amoroso versus YouTube channel.
So it was like magically taken down. I have it. Like, they don't have to worry about
we have all the files, Facebook. So really, it's like censorship. What they did was they took part of what I was using as part of, like, I was being cyberbullied and harassed. And then Facebook decided to take all of my thousands of comments, and now they're gone. All the shares and everything. It's like you have some of them.
So I do have some of them, but the message boards I have all these. Anyway, all right. So I replied back, by the sounds of it, it figures you would, and then I put the hashtag. I stand with Angel Amoroso. So he says, "What does that mean?" And he says, if someone's going to make harsh accusations against a beloved figure, get ready for the shitstorm. And I say, it means exactly what it means. By the way, they're facts, not accusations. He says, laughing my ass off. Okay, you don't even know what you're implying. And until there's a court case and actual proof, they're accusations. Okay, Joey. This girl needs some help. TM, is that thing TM? Okay.
First off, I'm not a girl. I'm a 43-year-old married woman that has lived a lot more life than you'll ever live through. So keep that in mind.
Okay, so TM says this girl needs help, like I said. And I said, of
and
course.
This girl's had help, by the way.
So
and that's how this girl has discovered how your beloved fucking superstars molested her. So this girl's had enough help to fucking uncover that and unravel that in her life, to have fucking post-traumatic stress for the rest of my life over things that have to happen to me. So don't say this girl needs help. This girl's had help, okay? Maybe you're the one that needs help.
You preach it, girl.
Go on. I'm not
trying to
cut promos or get heat either.
So I say, no one's arguing that, because, you've had help. Everyone needs help from time to time. But the main reason why you would maybe need help, I say, she needs help because she's been victimized, and now she's being attacked by strangers because she's trying to help. What happened? So that just adds whatever.
And I try to tell people what happened, and instead of, if you don't like what you're hearing, move along. Right. That's all. You got to take sides with people. Like, you're taking the wrong. You're gonna know eventually that you're an asshole who took the wrong side.
Okay, Justin Tenney is saying, he's laughing out loud,
Of course, they're all laughing out loud at my.
Of course. Well, they don't believe your pain is real.
Valid.
All right, so
it's not valid.
It's not
by
valid
the way,
enough because no one really.
It's just angels,
Yeah.
so don't worry about it. She's not really in pain that she got fucking raped at fucking 13 or 14
right, so
years old.
Justin Tenney's doing some investigative work, right? So he's going into your profile and he's showing you your own profile.
Oh,
and what you put,
right.
It actually went away. So he's saying, he laughs. Not even 2 weeks ago, she was sharing a memory of her trying to upload a Cactus Jack match on YouTube and expressing her displeasure over WWE, flagging it and taking it down. Not to
I'm still
mention,
doing that.
on her own profile, she lists herself as a groupie. Definitely someone you can trust. Psych. So, if you're posting this, like, everybody can see if they're looking at this. So they would definitely go.
Not only that, but when from the beginning of my profile, which was like over a decade ago on Facebook, I believe, I posted the groupie at, you know, and you could read on my profile if you'd like to go on my Angel Amoroso profile. That's all on there. And I listed the years, and for so long, no one ever even said anything about it. It was never mentioned. And now people are screenshotting it saying, look, she even says she was a groupie. Yeah, I know. You know why? Because that's what people knew me for since I was a fucking child. Since I was a little kid. That's what I was known for, was being a groupie, okay? And then if things didn't become worse in my childhood because of John Berzicelli, the politician from New Jersey, who just like spread all around that I was a groupie and I hung around in cockpits of baseball games and whatever. Yeah, look John Berzicelli up. And if that wasn't bad enough, later on in my life, Paul Heyman, who would you know, publicly tell everyone how we had sex and what we did when I was a teenager, then, you know, reference me to other people to have sex with, and would joke around, and not joke, because it was true. I don't make light of my past. I'm just talking about what my past is. But I had sex with a lot of people because I was in the same group of people. So Paul Heyman then, later on, when I start working for ECW, NWA Eastern Championship Wrestling, Paul Heyman decided to make everything I did a joke and got on camera and cut a promo saying that I was the most notorious groupie in the history of professional wrestling. I had just turned 19 years old at the time, and people that like to think that that was a joke and, oh, well, that was just for heat, for an angle or whatever. First off, find out what angle it was for and attached to. And second off, he said, I was shocked by the fact that he shot that, and he said that he would never, it was a joke, and we all laughed about it, and he said he would never ever use that, and he would never do that to you or me. That's what he said. So if there's any doubt about, if you don't want to trust me, you could look back on my Twitter and several Tumblrs I have and social media, and I've never denied who I was or have been in my life. This is me, and if you don't like it, move on. But you know, don't call me a liar, because I'm. If you don't know me, that's fine. But I'm well known by other people, so.
Anyway, so in the next comment, it's just me saying, you know, like, you know, she was in those videos, you are, and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, so then we need to come up. Someone says go to the police, then blah 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 blah. LOL, sure. Let's see.
People don't understand in a time that I did go to the police several times, and I've explained this during several other interviews. If you go back to my Facebook from last year and see the comments, which I explained this full out to people. Every single question that they asked, I explained it, and people just kept going back on saying that I said things that I never said. And I know that most of them were trolls, but then I seen a lot of them were real profiles, and a lot of wrestlers and a lot of fans that I had known had totally turned against me. People who were even part of my group started harassing me on inbox and threatening to call the police on me because they were, you know, scared that I had mentioned them as part of my group when I was younger, and you know, they were afraid that they were going to get in trouble for things that they had done to me, with me, or while they were around me were things that they had given me. So I had a lot of people turn against me over this, but whether or not you're with me or against me, you know the truth. So don't act like you don't.
So, Michelle, bullshit. Someone just wants their 15 minutes. All right, that's another one.
Yeah, I got a lot more than 15 minutes. So if you guys want to calculate that off in the time of fame that you must consider any kind of TV fame, I've had more than 15 minutes. And I don't need this fucking bullshit that plagues my life to be looked at as something that I'm trying to get myself over with. This is not getting myself over with. This is some of the most embarrassing fucking shit I have ever had to talk about in my life. This is some shit that I've got. You have no idea. I'm not. You know what? Please, moving on. I'm losing it. I'm fucking losing it for you fucking people.
All right, Josh, Generate. So I think the fact that you said this Saint Mick made me suck his dick basically says you're lying.
How does that say that I'm lying? I mean, do you know what happened in the bedroom between him and I?
And I just asked, how is that? How do you come to the conclusion?
Because honestly, I remember a penis being in my mouth. So don't tell me what I did, motherfucker. You know what you do in the bedroom, and I know what I do, okay? Moving on. Let's see how many
Sean
days it takes for lawyers to
asks, why didn't you say something then? And not jump on the bandwagon, I'm calling bullshit. So this guy, I guess, was not around in, the past years before this even happened, before the Me Too thing started. Whatever. So that's his fault, not mine. I shouldn't even comment it back. It doesn't. Because it wouldn't make a difference either way, because they would come up with something else. She deserved it. She was.
You know what? I started this because, like I said, it's weird.
Everybody.
The trolling hasn't stopped, but within the past 3 weeks, it has gotten excessively worse, and it's to the point where it's blowing up my inbox. To the point where I don't want to get on Facebook anymore. I get on and I do my auctions, and I look at how many messages that I have and things that they're saying, and I haven't brought it up. I haven't said a word about this, and there's reasons for that. But I'm not going to get into those reasons now, because I will get into them at some point later and let you all know how this all escalated. I'm sick of the trolls and people who think that they can harass me and cyberbully me over the shit that they don't know about. You don't know my life. You don't know how I lived. If you think that I'm lying, keep your fucking opinion to yourself, especially a year later. I don't need your dumbass ingesting my life.
It's kind of like them saying
opinions. I don't give a fuck about your opinion.
It's kind of like them saying 2 + 2 = 5.
And prove me wrong. Yeah. Prove me wrong. I'm mathematically incorrect.
All right. So anyway, going on. All right. So Justin Tenney is back. He's really invested in this year. He laughs out loud again. He has I guess a problem with that. Because it's such a funny subject. Yeah, you yelling about someone molesting you. Okay. Yet you're uploading videos of his matches. Okay, so that's bleeding.
Oh, by the way, match that they considered his match, I was ringside in that match. I was in that match.
So he's just repeating himself here. So he's basically saying, you're uploading videos of his matches on YouTube and trying to share them on Facebook not even a week ago. You're a special kind of fucked up. Sounds like you're mad that he don't want to put his dick in your fucked up mouth no more.
So to him, first he said it didn't happen, and now he's saying he doesn't want to do it anymore. So, okay. But, addressing that match that everyone likes to go back on, I was in that match. And the thing is, like you said, if you don't know who I am. So if you don't realize who I am, then I guess you don't realize who you're looking at in that match to know why I'm trying to upload it. And you understand that I am frustrated because WWE keeps blocking me from sharing stuff, even privately. I can't have the rights to my material to tell my story.
So he says back after I say something back to him, and like I'm sure they can get on the screen here. He says, "I'm sure the rape victim wants to see the face of their rapist in any way, shape, or form, including for that $3.13 she'll get royalty." All right. Gerard Crush.
Would I get $3.13 of royalties, by the way?
Wow.
Because I didn't know that I would get any kind of royalties over uploading a match on Facebook Live. Like,
who molested her? Cactus Jack, who loved mankind.
You know, that's not funny.
Yeah.
That's not funny. I mean, if these people, I hope that none of you ever.
Ian Decay's back saying, you're full of shit. Okay. And he doesn't even know how to properly say your or type your because you are. It's not hard at all. Like,
why are you?
I'm not even there. Oh, got that. Bugs Bunny. All right. Paul Ojeda says Bugs Bunny is claiming Elmer Fudd sexually abused him. Earl Smith says must be the reason you died. Like you died. Like dyed your hair blue. That he doesn't recognize your dumbass. First of all, you cannot hide your voice.
First of all, not only can you not, I can't hide my voice, but I had my hair. Last year, I had my hair about 100 different colors, and if for some reason you think I'm lying because I gotta prove everything, you go down on my Facebook, the photos and everything. And you could see how many different colors my hair was. That was just a spur of the moment, the sort of thing.
I'm just trying to make sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is this the reason you dyed your hair blue, or
is it the reason I dyed my hair? Yeah, I dyed my hair blue so that I could go tell everyone that this guy is a fucking child molester. That's exactly why I did it. Yeah. He figured it all out. We got a fucking Sherlock Holmes on our hands over here.
So, Django Lexus, huh?
Yeah, that sounds like a real name.
He's just saying Saint Mick made me suck his dick, and he's laughing at that. So, not really. It's like,
okay, well, when stuff rhymes, sometimes it comes fine.
Icon Art's back, and they're saying, I think this crap is getting out of hand, going too far. Two, when you're saying more than one is TOO, not two. My love.
Geniuses, okay.
Right, so I'm not expecting it, and it's
I can't wait to get back to the chat. And I hope it's going. We're not looking at the chat right now. We're trying.
I'm just saying, if you know
the stupid
what you're talking about, just learn how to spell. Like, just start with that, and then proceed from there.
I know what you're saying. And everyone else with an education.
See, Joey Cummins here, he's saying that you're bullshit, but he knows how to spell it.
Exactly.
So he has some credibility. Right.
All right.
Okay. Everybody Berg, I think we saw this guy. So why wasn't this reported when it happened? All right, so you know about the whole when everything is reported. Okay. So Simon Gregory, this chick is psycho.
Yes, I am psycho, but that doesn't mean that it is what it is. Just because I'm psycho, it doesn't mean that I haven't lived my life and I have a past. So you might be right on half of that.
You can't rape the willing. Okay, so I guess they don't know what statutory rape
hold
is.
on, yeah, wait, hold on. And I want everyone's opinion on this.
Oh, and then he called me a cunt.
Can you rape?
And
Facebook doesn't see that as harassment or bullying that he would call.
I just told him to stop being ignorant.
But he says you can't rape the willing. But when the willing is a teenager and the adult is well into their 20s, like 25, you make the decision for me, and let's see what you have to say about it. Can you rape the willing? Just because I was willing to do it, does that make it correct by law? Or is that statutory rape? You tell me. Am I wrong?
Okay, so Ivan Silverback says crazy ass white people.
So we expect that he's a crazy ass black person.
Well,
see
I
how
don't
that
know.
works?
Maybe he's
We're-
white.
we're not-
because he's one of those. I think he's white.
We're not being any more racist than he is for what he said about me.
Like,
And by the way, I'm a crazy ass mixed person, so you might want to learn a little bit more about me
Right.
before you try to go fashion.
All right, so I guess it just ends with some guy. Joey G. McIntyre says, "Idiot, quit lying."
Okay, so mind you, not one person on this thread is a person that had ever been on my Facebook before that. I was not friends with them. They didn't friend request me. They sent me a numerous amount of message requests that I'll read those for you at a later point. But I don't know any of these people. I've never met any of these people. They're not anyone that I've ever even seen on anyone's message boards or groups or anything like that. They're just people that pretty much popped up out of nowhere. A lot of them I thought were Facebook bots or whatever, but then, I seen some of them had one or two mutual friends that I had to fucking dump off. But, it just continued and continued, and this isn't the only video. And I'm really irritated by it. And I'm irritated by the fact that it's dropped like a fucking hot potato and been swept up under the rug again. And not only that, but the fact that I'm being told not to talk about it makes me want to talk about it all much more. So here I go. There's a lot more of these that I have to cover with rude comments that I'd like to address and other videos that have been done on social media to try to destroy my life and, demean my family in ways and be tormented to me. So I'll be back with all these. Let's go to see if there's anything in the chat that we have from the people that did join us back. And maybe we'll probably have a whole new show to cover just with these comments. Go to the top and we can thank everyone for joining us before we get the hell out of here. Okay, so Man Pondo's joined us. Academy Crawford.
I walked in
joined us.
with you yelling, "Fuck you."
Sorry, Crawford. And not fuck you, doll. Okay, thank you, Robbie. Thank you. My husband. Thank you, Teresa Clark, for joining. Sweetie, I love you to death, and you know I'm telling the truth. Crystal Thompson joined us. Thank you, Crystal.
David Lunt says, "What is this?"
David Lunt. If you don't know what it is, doll, you just hit the rewind. Justin Donas joined us. Thank you always for joining us, Justin. Paul Corbin joined. Stan Payne joined. Omen Raksha's joined. Evan Romano joined. Thank you very much for joining, Evan. Brian Trammell, as I know you, Brian Trammell. And by the way, you know I'm telling the truth, Brian Trammell. Thanks for joining us. Join this from
there I go.
our computer. And let's see, have you ever? Okay, Billy Real joined us. Dino Sana joined us. Thanks for joining, Dino. Tim Harshman joined us. Thank you for joining, Tim. John Atkins, Rick Gillespie joined us. Wayne West, my Savage Bestie. Happy birthday, Wayne joined us.
Happy birthday.
And Kay Meady joined us. Thanks for joining, Kay. Tim Sweeney joined us. Greg Worth joined us. Sean Rattray, thanks for joining. Tony Myers, thanks for joining, Tony. Michael Anthropoulos joined us. Thanks for joining, Michael. Jared Byron, let's see, has joined us. Timothy Tim joined us. Thanks for joining, Tim. And for anyone else who may have joined or commented, thank you for joining us. And we went 58 minutes. Like I said, I don't like to do any more than an hour on these Facebook Live things. So I don't want y'all to get tired of us. But we have a lot to say and a lot to cover. So join us for episode 2 of Fuck You, Mick Foley. So, fuck you, Mick Foley. we'll be back real soon.
Yeah, so like fuck seriously. Like
Seriously.
really, dude.
Fuck you. And we'll start with
I don't
you,
even
and
know
we'll
where to
move on
It's
to
ending,
all
so
your
I don't want to
fucking
start
friends.
right now.
So
It's not right. It's just not right. Like I'm
it
done.
isn't.
I'm
It
not
isn't.
done, but I'm done.
You're
with the whole-
you're done, and you know what? I'm done. Done.
And for this episode, we're actually done. So let me just close that out, and that's gonna conclude our episode 1 of Fuck You, Mick Foley. And hopefully you'll join us back here on Angel Amoroso for episode 2 of Fuck You, Mick Foley. Until then, have a nice night and a nice life.